The last thing Adam Vance remembered before the stars went out was the feeling of something cold pressing against his mind, a silent shriek that clawed away the edges of reality. Sound of a single, deep, resonant chime that wasn't just poetic language, not some dramatic flair dreamt up in the sterile confines of a university lecture hall. Adam had been an astrophysicist, a man who traded in the elegant equations that governed the cosmos. He understood the predictable dance of celestial bodies, the fiery birth and silent death of stars. He dedicated his life to charting the known universe, confident in its beautiful, albeit sometimes brutal mechanics. Came the anomaly. It started subtly, flickers in the deep field, images, anomalies that his algorithms initially dismissed as sensor noise, but they persisted, growing more defined, more structured. They weren't galaxies or nebulae as he knew them. These formations pulsed with an inner darkness, geometries that defied Euclidean space, angles that seemed to shift and writhe even in still photographs. He named them with a detached academic curiosity that now felt like a profound and damning naivety. The umbral veils. The scientific community, initially skeptical, became a frenzy of activity as more observatories confirmed Adam's findings. The veils were expanding not outward into the void, but inward. They were encroaching on known space, swallowing light and radio waves, creating pockets of absolute nothingness where vibrant galaxies had existed mere weeks before. It started as unsettling anxieties, a feeling of being watched from an immeasurable distance. But they quickly escalated. Adam found himself adrift in starless gulfs, the impossible structures of the veils looming around him like colossal silent predators. He could hear whispers there, not in any language he knew, but something deeper, something primal, that resonated with the very core of his being, promising something. He'd wake up screaming, his apartment cold despite the summer heat, the feeling of icy dread clinging to him like a shroud. The world outside his nightmares was fracturing too. Communication satellites began to fail as they brushed against the expanding veils. Entire zvaski of them winked out of existence, leaving gaping holes in the digital fabric of society. Panic began to ripple through the news, fueled by grainy images of the encroaching darkness and the increasingly erratic pronouncements of scientists who were clearly teetering on the brink of madness. Adam, though terrified, felt a horrifying pull towards the unknown. The whispers in his dreams grew louder, more insistent, no longer just promises but invitations. He started seeing patterns in the veil formations, not random chaos, but intricate, cyclopean architecture that hinted at an intelligence so far beyond human comprehension that its mere existence threatened to unravel the very notion of sanity. One night the power went out. The city plunged into an unnerving silence, broken only by the distant sirens and the frantic shouts of neighbors. Adam stood at his window, the oppressive darkness feeling heavier, more tangible than ever before. He looked up at the sky, or rather where the sky used to be. The stars were gone, replaced by an unbroken expanse of velvety black, punctuated by the slow, inexorable creep of the nearest umbral veil. It looked less like an absence of light and more like something hungry. He saw it, a flicker within the veil, a momentary parting of the impossible fabric, and in that fleeting glimpse he saw shapes, not stars, not galaxies, but colossal forms that defied description, their outlines shifting and blurring as if they were constructed from the very absence of light. And he heard the whispers, no longer faint echoes in his mind, but a deafening chorus that filled the silence, a symphony of alien consciousness that spoke directly to his soul. He understood the veils weren't just consuming space, they were bringing something with them. Something that had always been lurking just beyond the veil of our perceived reality, and now the barriers were breaking down. The whispers promised knowledge, power, a glimpse into the true nature of the cosmos. But behind the seductive allure, Adam felt an undercurrent of something infinitely ancient, infinitely cruel, an indifference so profound it made the emptiness of space seem comforting in comparison. He backed away from the window, his breath catching in his throat. The whispers were inside him now. Not just in his mind, but resonating in his bones, twisting his thoughts, showing him glimpses of a reality so alien it threatened to shatter his sanity. He saw the universe not as a collection of stars and galaxies, but as the skin of some unimaginable entity, and the umbral veils were its eyes, slowly opening. He felt a pressure building behind his eyes, a sensation like something was trying to force its way out. He clawed at his face, whimpering, the whispers intensifying, promising release, promising understanding, promising union. The last sound Adam Vance made was not a scream of terror, but a wet, gurgling sigh.
Sweet dreams.